Christmas is coming soon, and I am very excited, as you can see by this necklace. And I've actually used this in a Meep video before, like a year ago. And I'll put a picture of it up on screen because it's crazy how much I've grown as just a person, I guess, like physically, how much I've grown taller, and just also how big the channel has gotten. It's pretty crazy. Hey everyone, Gianni here. So today I have a different video for you, and not different in the case of a book review, but just a different book, how I actually came to learn about it. So a couple of weeks ago, I want to say like a month ago, because I haven't really been posting videos, an author named Stegman reached out to me and asked me if I wanted to review her debut novel, The Summer of Luck. And I said, of course, I love reviewing every and all book. And so she sent me an EPUB file of it, and here I am to review it today. And I'm super excited about this one, so without further ado, let's get into it. There are 3 different main characters in this story. No matter how well she does at anything, Darby's mother won't be proud of her, which is why she has a stutter. Justin hasn't spoken at all since his dad died. Naz is having lots of trouble learning English. When they all meet at a summer camp, they stumble across a magic carnival. They find out a ghost named Leroy Usher haunts it. Throughout the summer, and with the help from Mr. Usher, they all learn to believe in themselves. So, starting off with the characters, there were truly only 4 main characters, which were Darby, Naz, and Justin, as well as Mr. Usher. There were a couple of supporting characters that weren't really present, so I think it's just best to break down these 4 characters and review them separately. Starting off with Naz, and I'm kind of neutral about it, because while his scenario wasn't as difficult as Darby's or Justin's, it could have been classified as just as difficult. The only thing is that he meets Darby and Justin within the first 20 or 30 pages, which doesn't make it seem like a huge struggle. And if they met maybe halfway through the summer, something of that sort, then it would have seemed more difficult for him. Not that it was already difficult, I just would have liked to see a little bit more character development there. Moving on to Justin now, I'm also kind of neutral with his character, because with his scenario, his dad died, but while meeting Darby and Naz, he just immediately starts to speak again after not speaking for a while, and at first I thought this was unrealistic, but then I looked into it more, and it turns out that this is really common, that people who just lost a loved one like to talk to new people because they're just a new person and not, oh, that poor kid who their dad died. So I'm also neutral with his character, although I did like him overall. Next is Darby, and I really did think that Darby was a great character. I think it was great that she had a stutter, and then with the help of Mr. Usher and a little bit of magic, she learned to believe in herself based on the situations of how her mother is feeling, and I think that that's just great overall, and I wish that I really could say more about these characters, but I think I've summed it up pretty well. And finally, we move on to Mr. Usher. Now, I think Mr. Usher was just the absolute perfect character, just about how kind he was, and also he was crafted in a way so that it makes you feel like he's almost your real-life friend, even though he's not, and also he was given that base where people loved him so much, that's why they honored him after he died, and I just think that Mrs. Stegman crafted him so perfectly for this reason. For the plot, with the help of Mr. Usher helping the kids believe in themselves, it was great overall. However, I think that there's one specific thing that I want to talk about, and that's how the plot seemed just too rushed. When a book fits into the duration of a summer camp, which in this case is 8 weeks, sometimes it can feel rushed, and unfortunately for this one, this is also the case. See, for me, this just feels too short for Naz to be learning perfect English, even if it was magic, and Darby believing in herself, and also Justin finally deciding to speak again, just because of how just cramped it was. And maybe I just need a little bit more, and I also think that would have been maybe a plausible idea was that they met at summer camp and then we moved on a little bit into the school year. I think that would also work as well. Now that I think about it, I'm not really sure how they'd meet Mr. Usher. Also, this book ends in to be continued, so it's also possible that this fits into the next summer. So really, I can't really say too much about it since it's still kind of a toss-up because of the ending. And speaking about the ending, it was pretty bittersweet because I really loved it. I loved how all of the problems were resolved, but the other thing is that it ended in to be continued next summer, and I'm really nervous that the same thing is going to happen again with the book being rushed, but I just hope that this won't happen again. Overall, though, this was a great debut novel, and if you haven't checked it out already, I really recommend you do so because it's a great book. One thing I do want to say, though, is that I think it's for kids a little bit younger than me, but I didn't have a problem reading it because I really loved it. And I think that Laura Stegman's a great author, and you should really watch out for her next couple of books. That's going to wrap it up for this video. Thank you so much for watching, and if you enjoy, make sure to subscribe if you haven't already. I'm still getting back into the swing of things with publishing reviews, and I also have a ton of books that people have recommended me to review. And also, if you're an author and you want me to review your book, I'm always open, just let me know. So, thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.